What if the vegetables you eat every day, the ones you always thought were keeping you healthy, are actually speeding up stiffness in your joints, fogging your mind, and draining your energy? For many seniors, that's exactly what's happening. And the worst part? Most don't even realize it. Welcome to Wisdom Advice, your trusted guide to aging well. I'm here to share health insights that can truly make a difference in your daily life. In today's video, we're revealing a truth that might completely change how you think about healthy eating. Most of us grew up believing that all vegetables are good for us. And in general, that's absolutely true. But after age 60, things start to shift. Your digestion changes. Inflammation becomes more common. Your body processes certain foods differently than it used to. Suddenly, some vegetables that seemed harmless can quietly work against your health goals. Some may spike your blood sugar and leave you feeling tired. Others irritate your digestive system. And a few can even increase inflammation in your joints and muscles. Over time, these small changes add up to bigger problems like poor energy, joint stiffness, balance issues, and that frustrating afternoon crash. But here's the good news. This isn't about fear or restriction. It's about making smart swaps that can help you feel stronger, more energetic, and more confident in your body. If this information helps you today, please hit that like button and subscribe for more practical senior health tips. And tell me in the comments, which vegetables do you eat most often? Let's start with the first vegetable you might want to reconsider, and it's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. Let's start with the first vegetable that might be working against you. It's white potatoes. And I know this might come as a surprise because they've been a comfort food staple for generations. 1. White potatoes. The energy roller coaster. Think about this for a moment. How do you feel 2 hours after eating mashed potatoes or a baked potato? If you're like most people over 60, you probably experience what I call the afternoon energy crash. Here's why that happens. White potatoes break down into sugar incredibly fast in your bloodstream. Imagine your energy like a roller coaster instead of a steady highway. You get that initial boost, that feeling of satisfaction after a hearty meal. But then comes the dramatic drop. Your blood sugar spikes high, then crashes low, leaving you feeling tired, foggy, and reaching for more food. A recent study from Harvard Health in 2024 found that refined starches like white potatoes can significantly impact circulation in adults over 60. When your blood sugar swings wildly, it creates inflammation in your smallest blood vessels. These are the vessels that feed your joints, your brain, and your muscles. Over time, this inflammation contributes to stiffness, slower thinking, and that general feeling of being old. But here's what's really happening. Your body is working overtime to manage these blood sugar spikes. It's like forcing your car engine to constantly rev up and slow down instead of cruising at a steady speed. Eventually, something's going to wear out. 2. Eggplant. The silent joint irritator. Now let's talk about the second vegetable that might surprise you. Eggplant. It looks elegant, it's featured in so many healthy recipes, but for many seniors, it's quietly creating problems. Let me tell you about Patricia, a 72-year-old from Austin, Texas. She loved her weekly eggplant parmesan. It was her signature dish for family dinners. But Patricia started noticing that her knees ached more on certain days. The pain wasn't severe, just a nagging stiffness that made climbing stairs feel harder. Her doctor couldn't find anything wrong. But when Patricia decided to eliminate eggplant for 3 weeks, something remarkable happened. The knee pain decreased by about 60%. She could walk longer distances without discomfort. She even started taking evening walks again. What Patricia discovered is that eggplant belongs to the nightshade family. These vegetables contain a natural compound called solanine. Think of solanine as your body's smoke alarm. In small amounts, it's manageable. But as we age, our bodies become more sensitive to these compounds. The inflammation builds slowly and silently. Solanine can trigger low-grade inflammation in your joints, especially in areas that are already vulnerable, like your knees, hips, and lower back. This isn't dramatic pain that sends you to the emergency room. It's the kind of stiffness that makes you think, I guess this is just getting older. Green bell peppers, the gut disruptor. The third vegetable that might be working against you is green bell peppers. They're crisp, they add color to your meals, and they seem so healthy. But here's what most people don't know. Green bell peppers contain compounds called lectins. Think of lectins as tiny troublemakers that poke holes in your intestinal wall. This might sound dramatic, but it's actually a well-documented process that researchers call leaky gut syndrome. When your gut lining becomes permeable, it allows particles to leak into your bloodstream that shouldn't be there. Your immune system sees these as invaders and creates inflammation to fight them off. This inflammation doesn't just stay in your digestive system, it travels throughout your body. A 2025 study from Mayo Clinic found that gut inflammation directly impacts the brain through what scientists call the gut-brain axis. This connection explains why digestive issues can lead to brain fog, mood changes, and even sleep problems. Many seniors who experience afternoon mental fatigue don't realize it might be connected to what they ate for lunch. Green bell peppers are essentially unripe versions of red, yellow, and orange peppers. They contain higher levels of lectins and fewer protective antioxidants. So while they might look healthy, they're actually the least beneficial version of bell peppers you could choose. Are you starting to see a pattern here? These vegetables aren't dangerous, but they might be quietly working against your energy and comfort. The question is, what should you eat instead? But here's what surprised me most. The solution isn't about restriction or eliminating entire food groups. It's about smart swaps that can transform how you feel in just 2 weeks. And the 3 vegetables I'm about to share with you are probably already familiar. You just might not realize how powerful they are for your specific health goals. Now let's shift our focus to the 3 vegetables that can actually help turn back the clock on aging. These aren't exotic superfoods that cost a fortune. They're simple, accessible vegetables that work with your body instead of against it. 1. Sweet potatoes. Your steady energy provider. The first swap might seem obvious, but it's incredibly powerful. Instead of white potatoes, choose sweet potatoes. This isn't just about switching colors. It's about completely changing how your body processes energy throughout the day. Remember that roller coaster effect we talked about with white potatoes? Sweet potatoes create the opposite experience. Think of them as your body's cruise control. They release energy slowly and steadily, keeping your blood sugar stable for hours instead of minutes. Here's why this matters so much as we age. Sweet potatoes are packed with beta-carotene, that beautiful orange pigment that does far more than just support your vision. Beta-carotene acts like internal sunscreen for your skin, protecting you from age spots and wrinkles. It also strengthens your immune system, which naturally becomes less efficient after 60. Let me tell you about Dorothy, a 71-year-old from Sarasota, Florida. She used to eat mashed white potatoes almost every night. By 3 p.m. each day, she'd feel so tired she needed a nap. Simple tasks like folding laundry felt overwhelming. Then Dorothy made one change. She swapped her white potatoes for roasted sweet potatoes. Within a week, Dorothy noticed her energy stayed steady all afternoon. She started taking evening walks again. She even had the stamina to babysit her grandchildren without feeling exhausted. The difference was that dramatic. Now, here's a cooking tip that makes a huge difference. Roasting sweet potatoes concentrates their nutrients better than any other cooking method. Cut them into chunks, toss with a little olive oil, and roast at 400 degrees for about 25 minutes. This method preserves more beta-carotene than steaming or boiling. 2. Broccoli. Your personal detox system. The second vegetable that can transform your health is broccoli. I know. You've heard broccoli is good for you 1,000 times. But let me tell you something about broccoli that most people don't know. Broccoli contains a powerful compound called sulforaphane. Think of sulforaphane as your body's personal cleaning crew. As we age, our liver works harder to process everything from medications to environmental toxins. Sulforaphane helps your liver clean house more efficiently. This is especially important for reducing inflammation. When your liver can't keep up with detoxifying inflammatory compounds, those compounds stay in your system longer. They circulate through your blood, settle in your joints, and contribute to that overall feeling of stiffness and fatigue. But here's the key to getting the most out of broccoli. How you prepare it makes all the difference. I call it the 3-minute steaming rule. Steam fresh broccoli for exactly 3 minutes, no more, no less. This preserves the maximum amount of sulforaphane while making it easy to digest. Boiling broccoli for 10 minutes, like many people do, destroys up to 90% of its beneficial compounds. But steaming for just 3 minutes keeps those compounds intact while making the broccoli tender enough for comfortable chewing. 3. Leafy greens. Your circulation boosters. The third vegetable that can change everything is actually a combination. I want you to think of spinach and kale as a powerhouse green team. These leafy greens contain natural compounds called nitrates that work like premium fuel for your circulation system. Here's what happens when you eat nitrate-rich vegetables. Your body converts these nitrates into nitric oxide, a molecule that helps your blood vessels relax and expand. Better circulation means more oxygen reaching your muscles, your brain, and your joints. It's like upgrading from a narrow country road to a 4-lane highway. This is particularly important for leg health and brain function. Many seniors notice that their legs feel heavy or tired more quickly than they used to. Often, this isn't about muscle weakness. It's about circulation. When your blood flows more efficiently, your legs feel lighter and more responsive. Let me share Robert's story. He's a 69-year-old retired postal worker from Denver, Colorado. Robert used to love hiking, but he noticed he couldn't walk as far as he used to. His legs would feel tired after just a few blocks. His doctor said his heart was fine, but Robert felt like his body was betraying him. Then Robert started adding a green smoothie to his morning routine. Just a handful of spinach, some kale, a banana, and water. Nothing fancy. Within 3 weeks, Robert was walking twice as far without feeling winded. He's back to hiking mountain trails on weekends. The key is what I call the handful rule. 1 small handful of mixed greens per day is all you need. You can add them to smoothies, sauté them lightly with olive oil, or simply add them to soups and stews. Here's your 7-day test, and I really want you to try this. Pick just one of the problem vegetables we discussed and swap it for one of these healing vegetables this week. Track your energy levels each morning on a scale of 1 to 10. I think you'll be surprised by what you discover. But the real transformation happens when you understand not just what to eat, but how to make these changes sustainable. That's exactly what we're covering next. Now that you know which vegetables to avoid and which ones to embrace, let's create a practical plan that actually works. I've learned that dramatic changes rarely stick, especially when it comes to eating habits we've had for decades. That's why this approach is designed to feel natural and sustainable. Week 1. The gentle transition. Here's what I call the Monday, Wednesday, Friday rule. Instead of trying to change everything at once, you're going to make one swap every other day during your first week. Monday. Replace white potatoes with sweet potatoes in just one meal. Maybe that's your lunch or dinner. Keep everything else exactly the same. Wednesday. Add broccoli to one meal where you might normally have eggplant or another vegetable. Again, just one meal. Friday. Include a handful of leafy greens somewhere in your day. This could be in a smoothie, a salad, or simply sautéed as a side dish. Your shopping list for week 1 is incredibly simple. 3 items: sweet potatoes, fresh broccoli, and a bag of mixed greens or spinach. That's it. No complicated ingredients or expensive supplements. Here's a tip that makes this so much easier. Talk to your family about what you're doing. Explain that you're making small changes to feel more energetic. Most family members are supportive when they understand you're not trying to overhaul everyone's diet. You're just making personal adjustments for your health. Week 2. The optimization phase. During your second week, you're going to start combining these vegetables to maximize their benefits. This is where the magic really happens because these vegetables work synergistically. They support each other's effects in your body. Let me give you 3 simple recipes that take 5 minutes or less. 5-minute sweet potato mash. Microwave a medium sweet potato for 4 minutes. Mash with a fork. Add a pinch of cinnamon. The cinnamon actually helps stabilize blood sugar even more. Quick broccoli stir-fry. Steam broccoli for 3 minutes, then toss in a hot pan with a teaspoon of olive oil for 1 minute. Add garlic powder if you like. Power green smoothie. Blend 1 handful of spinach, half a banana, 1 cup of water, and ice. The banana completely masks the taste of the greens. During week 2, start tracking 3 simple things each morning. Rate your energy level from 1 to 10. Note any changes in joint stiffness. Pay attention to your sleep quality. These are the areas where people notice changes first. A 2024 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who made similar dietary changes showed measurable reductions in inflammatory markers within just 14 days. The researchers were surprised by how quickly the body responds to these simple swaps. Here's what you can realistically expect when you make these changes. I want to set proper expectations because transformation takes time, but the early signs happen faster than most people think. Days 1 through 3. The first thing most people notice is improved digestion and less bloating. Your gut starts to calm down as you remove some of the irritating compounds and add fiber-rich, gentle vegetables. Days 4 through 7. This is when the energy changes kick in. You'll notice more stable energy throughout the day. That afternoon crash becomes less severe or might disappear entirely. Your sleep often improves during this phase too, because stable blood sugar leads to better sleep quality. Days 8 through 14. Joint stiffness typically starts to decrease around this time. Your thinking becomes clearer as inflammation reduces. Many people report feeling more motivated to be active during this phase. Beyond 2 weeks, this is where the real transformation happens. Enhanced mobility, sustained vitality, and a genuine feeling of being more comfortable in your body. Some people describe it as feeling like they did 5 or 10 years ago. Let me share 3 quick stories from people who've made these exact changes. Maria is 64 and lives in Sacramento, California. She's always loved gardening, but found herself getting tired after just 30 minutes of weeding. After 2 weeks of following this plan, Maria can work in her garden for 2 hours without feeling exhausted. She's even started a small vegetable garden for the first time in years. Frank is 70 and lives in Grand Rapids, Michigan. His golf game had been suffering because he felt stiff and tired by the back nine. 3 weeks after making these vegetable swaps, Frank's golf buddies started asking what he was doing differently. He was walking the full course again and playing his best golf in years. Linda is 67 and lives outside Nashville, Tennessee. Every afternoon around 2 p.m., she would hit a wall of fatigue that made her want to nap. After implementing this plan, Linda has consistent energy all day long. She started volunteering at her local library and even signed up for a pottery class. These aren't dramatic medical interventions. These are simple food swaps that work with your body's natural healing processes. The key is consistency, not perfection. Which benefit are you most excited about? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one, and I love hearing about your experiences and questions. But before we wrap up, I want to make sure you have everything you need to succeed with this plan. You now know which 3 vegetables to avoid and which 3 to embrace. Start with just 1 swap this week and notice how you feel. Every meal is a vote for your energy and independence. If this helped you, please like, subscribe, and share with someone you care about. Your best days are still ahead.